ask what was your take then on the defeat on Tuesday night? It felt like it was a disappointing way to bow out, but I suppose there's plenty of things that you could have picked up from that game that you can put right for tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much how I felt when I spoke to you afterwards. There was loads of good stuff. Obviously, the game went away from us a little bit late on with the amount of changes they made and we made, and the difference in the depth of the squads. Second goal really frustrating. So yeah, on the whole, I thought it was a pretty good performance. I think the disappointing thing is we didn't create more clear-cut chances. We had a lot of chances to. We got into their box a lot. We got into their final third a lot. We just didn't have quite enough quality or belief in what we were doing in that area. And so yeah, it was a bit frustrating. I would have obviously, this competition we've taken really seriously all the way through. There was a chance, a massive carrot at the end of it, obviously, massive reward in terms of Wembley and a trophy. But it's not to be. And I think, despite not playing Cammy, apart from that, it was as strong as we could have gone. And with Cammy, there was, the other things going on the day before that I spoke about. We turned down a bid for Cammy. So it was a long day and long night for him. He hadn't recovered properly from the Saturday. We had a lot late interest from a Championship club, very late on. So I didn't play Cammy for that reason. And I know people have questioned why, and but there was reasons for it. And he wasn't in the right place to start the game. So that would have helped us out if he was. There's no doubt about it. But he wasn't. But he's as Cammy is, he's a good pro. He'll get on with it now. He's ready to. And he didn't refuse to play, so he would have been willing to get on with it anyway. But it just wasn't quite right, I don't think, in terms of preparation. So, but he's willing to really kick on and help us and carry on doing what he's doing for the rest of the season, and then see where it takes him and us. So, yeah, there was lots going on the day before. So the performance I was actually pretty pleased with, and it'll be a different team tomorrow. They'll have a different team. It's a different game, but it's one I think. Tuesday should give us plenty of positives to take in tomorrow, there's no doubt.
Now it's interesting that it is Cameron Jerome that was seeking all the interest, because I think a lot of people were potentially looking at the likes of David Kasumi, Matthew Soranola and Scott Fraser. I mean, how big has Jerome been for you then? And you say that he's not going to let it play on his mind, but does that sort of thing get in a player's head when a deal comes in so late for you? Yeah,
I think when you've obviously, Cammy came back from Turkey and didn't have the offers that I thought he might have, or he thought he might have. And when you've been out of the country for a couple of years and you're coming back amidst the global pandemic, it changes the landscape hugely. So we obviously gave him the opportunity to carry on playing in a style of football that he really enjoys, in a team that creates lots of chances for him, in a style that suits him, and with someone obviously myself that we'd worked with before and had a very good relationship with. So it fitted everyone, and it's worked really, really well because of how well he's done, because of the amount of chances his teammates have given him, because of the way we play. He's obviously attracted interest, as did Richard. So the interest was very strong but very late. So it might have changed things if we maybe had a bit of time to replace Cameron, but we didn't. And I spoke to Cammy about that and the situation. We can't just let one of our top performers go without having an opportunity to replace him. So if it had come earlier, who knows what would have happened. I wouldn't have wanted to lose him, but at 34, when you get a chance to play at, in the Championship for a club that's competing to try and get out of it, then it's difficult. Of course, it's going to interest you as a player, but at the same time, Cammy understood the situation from my point of view, from where we were at as a club, and he appreciates the opportunity he's been given here. So there was lots going on. There was lots of to and fro in. There was lots of conversations, as always, on deadline day. That's why it was a bit more dramatic than it probably might have been. But ultimately, we've managed to keep hold of him, and he's drawn a line under it and wants to kick on and carry on performing now, because if he carries on performing how he has done now, he did against Wimbledon in the second half, against AFC in the second half in particular, then he's I'm sure there'll be interest again in the summer from various people.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? You go out and you score another 7 or 8 goals in the second half of the season, and all of a sudden those offers come rolling in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we've not even discussed next season with Cammy yet because he wanted to come in and play and enjoy his football, which he has been doing. He's had a real impact, and obviously at his age, he's got a family, etc. to think about. So it wasn't something we were going to discuss until later on. But we'll have to wait and see. And as long as he's performing and adding as much on the pitch and off the pitch as he has done, then we'll be fine, and we can continue to enjoy working together and him adding real value to the team and to the players.
How's everybody looking fitness-wise? I mean, we know David Kasumu may or may not be back due back soon. Andrew Sermon back on the mend, and how's Jordan Houghton doing?
Yeah, Sirs is trained, so he's back in the squad tomorrow. Really good to have him back. Jordan Houghton's back in light training, so he'll ramp that up and become more and more involved, which is great. So he's not too far off now either. And the same as David. So David and Jordan will be back in the next week or two with the squad, which will be great. And all of a sudden, our options, with Sirs back as well, midfield are very good, very very good. So I'm excited to have all those guys back. And as I said, the squad have done brilliantly without them. We're going to need everyone. We're playing almost half a season in 3 months. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be physically and mentally demanding. So we're going to need everyone in the squad. There's no doubt about that. And these guys coming back give us a real boost, along with the new guys we've added. They give us new energy, new enthusiasm coming back in, and obviously a hunger and a desire to get back in the team. So it's going to be really important for us.
Of course, it's not just going to be a few injuries that you're welcoming back this weekend. It's going to be all of the guys who are cut tied, and how different is the team going to feel with these guys in there?
Yeah, I think as I just said, it's going to give us new energy. There's no doubt about it. They need a bit of time to get the detail of the work, the structure that we work in, because it's important to the way we play, of course. So, but it's going to be great to have them. I think when important players come back from injury, when new players come in, it gives the team a lift. There's no doubt about it, and there's a different energy around the team. Sorry, I've just had a COVID test, so I can't get rid of my itch. So there is definitely new energy. There's definitely a real enthusiasm, and I think all the other guys have really embraced it and are quite excited by the people that we brought in. And how important it is to keep some of our top performers during that transfer window as well and get some of them back fit. So really, really pleasing. And I think it'll give us a new dimension in the next few weeks, no doubt about it.
I think given all of the excitement of transfer deadline day and the amount of business that you did, I think the signing of Charlie Brown's almost gone a little bit glossed over a little bit because we've not really seen him play an awful lot yet. But how's he progressing, and how excited are you to see him on a more regular basis?
He's progressing really, really well. So he come to us off the back of not having much training for the last 3 or 4 weeks because of obviously he had COVID, and then he wasn't training at the academy at Chelsea over Christmas. So he's taken a little while to get up to speed, but really, really excited by Charlie in terms of, especially over for the rest of this season, and especially looking forward to next season. He's got actually more fight and aggression than I thought he had, which is brilliant, and I love seeing. And in training, he surprised a few people with that, with the intensity he wants to work at, willingness to improve, which is great. And he's technically very, very good footballer. There's no doubt about it. Makes clever runs, good finisher. You've seen that from the goals he scored at youth level. But what's come with that is the real desire to improve and to get himself in this team and to show his teammates that he's willing to fight and do what he can to do it and scrap. And so we've been really impressed with Charlie, and physically now he's getting more and more up to speed. And when he come on against AFC, I thought he'd done great. He's getting there, and he's knocking the door. He really is, because he's physically in a place now where he's ready to play. So gives us another really, really good option up front. And I'm really pleased with the options we've got up there now. If you look at obviously Grigg coming in, and Joe Mason, the way he's performed the last few games with his physical output, he looks back to the Joe Mason that I know he's capable of being. So and obviously Cammy. So really, really pleased with that.
You mentioned something in your interview on deadline day about Zach Jordan potentially being a longer term replacement for the immovable object that is Dean Lewington. I mean, how quick can he come into the fold? And is it a case that he now has to battle the captain for that spot in the team?
Yeah, I think he knows what the full picture is. I think having watched Dean from the stand the other night, he'll realise he's got a battle on his hand, and they've got completely different attributes. But yeah, Dino has been one of our best players since I've taken over as manager. There's no doubt about it. I actually think he's improved in a weird way. I think in terms of his decision making on the ball, the courage he shows on it now, what he gives, the options he gives the other players, he's been outstanding. So we love Dino and what he brings. He's a proper old school professional, robust, trains every day. Even when you offer him a day off or a day extra rest, he doesn't want it. And his responsibility on the pitch defensively is incredible, and what he does for us as well, going forward with the ball and to try and help us build up cleanly is outstanding. So Zach knows he's in for a battle. I think Dean does as well. I've just haven't had a look at Zach. But it's not just those. Dino can play a few positions, Zach can play a few positions. If we need to change things, we've got a bit more flexibility now. So I don't see it as one has to play and the other one can't. They can definitely play in the same team together. What I would say on record, that I want Dean to stay here beyond this season. There's no doubt about that in the capacity he's doing now, because he's shown as a player this season how much he still has to offer. I think long term we would like Dino to become to keep playing, obviously, but to become more and more involved in the process, which he's doing with the young guys, with the defensive unit in particular, whether that's with the analysis, whether he's helping them out on the training pitch. But this club has to keep someone like Dean Lewington, who's given them so much, and the chairman knows that and wants that, and I'm sure Dino does as well. So he's given us so much, and he'll continue to do that. And I know that he's the kind of guy that will come in and not be threatened by Zach, but he'll try and help him, because that's the professional he is, and that's the guy he is, and that's what we need to move forward. And Zach will embrace that, and he'll embrace the challenge. That's why he's come here. He's hungry to improve and to develop, and ultimately, if you're going to play football at any level, professionally, whether it's League Two to the Premier League, especially the higher up you go, you have to be prepared to fight and scrap for your place, and to work extremely hard and to prove yourself, and because every summer people have a job. Everyone at every club has someone whose job it is to try and replace you with someone better. It's that simple. So you have to be up for that challenge, and I think Dino's probably done that about 25 times since he's been here, and he has to do it again. And Zach's got a real chance to try and stake his claim as well. And listen, we're going to need everyone. There's so many games. We're going to need everyone to be available and to be ready to play, and them two are no different.
Of course, he needs that statue outside, doesn't he?
He needs something, that's for sure. To do what he's done in this day and age is just, it's incredible. And I think it's really easy when you're so long at a club for people to take you for granted. But we don't do that. We don't take him for granted. I don't think the fans here do either. So, I think when he hangs those dirty boots up that he never cleans, that I'm sure the club will have something in place to commend and to show everyone else how important he's been to MK Dons.
Now I'm going to be interviewing one of your backroom staff later on, Lano's 1000th game. What does he bring, and how important is it to have a character like him in the dressing room?
The Lanning. Well, he has an area of the pitch named after him, which shows you how important he is to us and the lads. So he is a point of reference for the players on the pitch. They know they need to get to somewhere. We love Lano. He's a fascinating character. I wish he ate less McDonald's, but he loves it. So I've tried to get him on a health kick a few times, but he loves it. And so he's a good character. He's worked in the game for so long. He understands people. He just adds comedy value without even realising it half the time. His punctuality is terrible, so you can question him on that. So I've had to tell him off a few times for being. But no, he's a really good guy. I've said it on numerous times down here how fortunate I am to be working with such brilliant people, and he's part of that team. He's a really important part. He's not just a kit man. He does a lot of our logistical stuff, the travelling, the hotels. lads' cars picking up, all that stuff. He does a lot for the players and for us as a group, and yeah, it's always appreciated. And I think as kit man, sometimes you get ribbed relentlessly by the players, and but everyone knows how important a kit man is to a club, and he's no different. And yeah, we're 1,000 games even in that role. It's incredible. So hopefully we can mark that with a win for him.
Sunderland then, a team that you've obviously seen earlier this week. You can pick things up, but I imagine both teams are going to be hugely changed from where they were on Tuesday.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, I think you look at as I said, the strength and depth of their squad. They had some players who weren't even eligible for the trophy that were still back up in Sunderland, that are regular starters. So it'll be a tough game. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be right up there. You know, with the players they have at this level, it's the experience they have. That they have to be. I think with the demands of the club as well, and they have a manager who knows that and has really embraced that and is willing to take it on. And yeah, it's going to be a difficult game with a team that's right up there. But I do believe we've always performed really well against the teams in the top half of the league, in the top 6 or 7 in particular, and especially at home. So we have to make sure that this game is the same as that, and we some of the good bits we showed on Tuesday we build on, and the other stuff we improve on. And what I would say about this team, about the players here that I love working with, is that they are competitive in every single game. There's not many games this season where we've been dominated or never looked like being in the game. Every single game, apart from Crew probably, but every single game they make teams realise, they make teams work very, very hard for anything they get. And Saturday's going to have to be, tomorrow's going to have to be exactly the same mentality, and try and match it with a little bit more quality, a little bit more patience in the final third. And if we do that, as I say all the way along, we've got a chance of winning the game and to carry on building a bit more momentum.
Frustrating that you can't play Will Grigg yet still?
Yes, very. From what we've seen in training this week, yeah, very frustrating. He's looked razor sharp. He's come in really enthusiastic, really hungry, and yeah, we were talking about that this morning actually, how nice it would have been to have him ready and involved for tomorrow, but obviously he can't. So yeah, he'll have to wait till Tuesday, but I'm sure that would just make him even more hungry to get involved and get playing. But yeah, I'm really excited by Griggy and what he's going to bring us.
And apparently, according to the Shrewsbury Chiefs executive, he got in his head over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've done that. I said to you, we were told that there was no deal, and then there was a deal agreed with someone else, not from what I know from Will, but between the clubs. And at that point, when nothing's signed or done, and the player is available, things change. I said that to you before. So I think the player wanting to come here over everyone else I didn't really have to do very much. So I'm not. Yeah, it'd have been nice to have a conversation about that possibly, but I'm not going to talk about other clubs and how they do their business. All I know is that Will was desperate to come here and play, and we wanted him to do that. So if that's a case of getting in his head, then that's what happened.